Yeah, hi my fellow bloggers. Welcome to part 11 of this training on how to use WordPress to build blogs. So in this conversation, we're going to talk about some customization, how to customize your blog, and how customization basically means how to make your blog look the way you want it to look. But before we're going to do that, I want us to talk about something. If we look at this now, this theme gives us this appearance. Now, if we go back here, let's assume let's change this theme and let's see something. Just want to show this thing about plugins and how to use plugins. Now if I change this, if I activate another theme, we see that our site takes a new shape instantly. So let me refresh this page. I'm assuming it has already changed. So you see how the home page has just adjusted itself. It's now carrying different formats. This is an introductory level customization. Now we'll click on the picture and it opens the page. But for some themes, if you click on the picture, it's not going to open the theme. Now if you look at this now, you have white background, but you have this ash. This is where your articles and posts residing. There's a difference between the white and the ash or gray. Sorry, I'm not very good with colors. So let's go back here. Now I want us to look at what plugins. Okay, I'm just observing something. If you look at this theme now, this theme we just installed that is showing us this, like this. This theme is asking us to install a few plugins. Contact Form 7, then one-click demo import. Begin installing. Dismiss this notice. Now, like I said before in one of our previous videos, the rule of thumb with respect to plugins is if you don't understand what the plugin is doing or what the plugin will do, you don't need it on the blog, please do not install. Because the more plugins you install, the more apps that are running on your OS. Remember we said your WordPress is like your operating system for your phone and your Android. And we all know what a RAM is. Your RAM is what enables apps to run on your phone. So if you have so many apps running at the same time, the phone will start hanging. That's why in those days we used to have 1 gig RAM phone, 512 megabytes. But today you have a 16 gig phone. You have 20 gig phone RAM. That's because they need more stuff to pass through at the same time. So if you install a lot of plugins, you're giving your website and your server heavy load, and that may cause 1 or 2 problems. So before we go into that customization fully, let's look at plugins. First is, what are plugins? Plugins are like, remember we said in one of our previous videos, we said plugins are like your apps on your Android system. So if your WordPress is like your operating system, plugins are the apps you install. These plugins help you to extend functionality, customize the website, add new features to your site without having to write any line of code. I'll show us an example. Let's go to our mother blog. Now I have category post widget here. If we go to the site, let's go to the site and see what it's like. So we're in the site now. I've clicked on this article, so let it open. Now, category post widget. This thing that shows recent posts is a widget. Now, if we scroll down, we have recent episode. Is also a widget that comes from a plugin. I'm searching for that category post widget. Wow, I need to adjust something here again. Okay. Motivational tips. Now these motivational tips are what I call them DMR, daily motivational reminders, which I post it should be every day, but due to time, I've not had the time to post them every day, so it comes once. But over here, because it's an integral part of the site, because it's my own content on the site, on the blog, so I want everybody to see it. So I placed it here on this side widget. So I named it motivational tips. Now it only displays posts from a particular category. Now I can put another one and display posts from another category. This is my tag cloud. This contains all the tags, all the most popular tags on the blog. Okay, so that's what this particular category post widget does. Now Firebird is mainly for pictures. If you're uploading a lot of pictures to your site and you want to store them in different files to make it easier for you, because it's like your normal Facebook post or your normal Facebook account. If you're uploading pictures every day on your Facebook, and maybe 6 months later you want to look at a picture you posted in 2014, ideally you have to go to your pictures in your Facebook, then start scrolling till you get to the pictures of 2014. But like you could create an album. If you create an album on your Facebook page, on your picture stuff, then you just go to that album, click on the album, and it opens the pictures. So you don't need too much rocket science to start wasting time scrolling through. That's what Firebird does. Like if you look at here, I have different files. I have boots, I have admin pics. This admin pics has to do with the pictures that I'm using for admin function. Like, if we open it now, okay, let's not do that. I have affiliates. Affiliates are where I save pictures that I use for my affiliate stuff. Podcast audio. Podcast audios is a file where I save all my podcast audio. Now, if you look at this affiliate, you can't find it here, but if you want to search for it, you keep scrolling, keep going down. When you get to the end, you may have to scroll down again. You see? So you keep doing this till you get to where you're going, which is actually a very lousy way of doing things. So the Firebird helps you create files for you to store your pictures. Now, I have Formator here. Formator here now is a form. It helps you create forms with which you can place anywhere on your site for people to, like over here I have advertise. If you want to advertise with us, the form is placed down. Sometimes you could need form. You could use a form to do booking, engagement, whatever thing you need a form for. You can use any of the forms. There are so many forms as plugins. So, because WordPress is open source, so a lot of people can go there and create plugins and things. All you need to do is just know the architecture of WordPress. Then you create your own plugin or your theme and upload it there. Then, if someone uses it, you have free version and you have your paid version, your freemium and premium. When people start doing the premium, then you start earning money. So, like I said here, how it works. Okay, post adverts and stuffs like that. Let's go down. You now have terms of lifetime adverts. Now this is a form. This form here comes from that formator. You see that it's in a post. So that's what formator does for you. Now you have Jetpack. Jetpack is a sister company to WordPress. In fact, I think Jetpack is developed by WordPress team. So Jetpack enables you to post from your mobile device easily. If we go back to one of our previous videos, I did a video on how to add your Jetpack, add your account to Jetpack. But I think we're going to look at that over time. Now I have post view counter. If we look at post view counter, now below every post, it shows you. Okay, this is a page, so it's not showing. I didn't ask it to show post counters on pages. So let's go to a post and see what post counter does. So it shows you the post view. post view, that 6 people have viewed this post since it was published. That's what the post counter does. So I think we have a profile builder and so many other plugins here, which we're going to look at how to use some of them. So that's what a plugin does for you. It's a functionality enhancement stuff for your WordPress blog. Now, you're going to be working with plugins and themes a lot, because your theme may not give, a theme you install may not give you what you want. So you change it and use some other theme, like we're going to see from what we'll do here. So we just changed our theme here. You can see that in the previous theme, this menu was up here, but now it's here. Okay, so let's go back and change the theme again. So we see how another theme works. Let's activate this theme, News Magazine X, and refresh this page. See, it has a new. See, our menu has moved to this place. It was here at this top right. It came to the middle here. Now it's up here. So you see, when it comes to customization, you can adjust almost everything on a blog depending on the theme you are using. Some themes enable you to adjust a lot. They give you a lot of customization options, but some themes give you only minimal customization option until you use the premium. So let's try to adjust this theme a little. Okay, the theme is not even requesting for any other plugin. So, but let's customize this a little. Now, as an observation for us here, you will not want to customize with your mobile device, because in customization you will be adjusting a lot of things, which a mobile device may not be very convenient for that. So it's best to customize with your laptop or your desktop. And also, sometimes your customization may take time to load, depending on the theme you're using and depending on your network. Customization is something that requires heavy data or strong network. If your network isn't strong, your customization may not load. So sometimes if you're trying to load your customization and it's not working, just be patient. Secondly, customization is one area that once your site has problem, it will mostly show up in your customization. There are times you want to customize something and it tells you critical errors occurred on your site. You now go through your plugins or your theme and see where the problem is coming from. So it has been made easy that you can adjust anything from here. Let's change the colors. Let's see if we can change colors. Okay, there's no even menu for color. Okay, there's no menu for color. So, okay, let's see global colors. Okay, so accent color, let's change it to green. When you change, you publish. When you change anything, you click publish. When you do that, it will see the change you effected over there. You see, this has changed from red to green. Now we'll come back to customization. Let's put a background color to this. Background color. Okay, let me use gradients instead of image. Start color. Okay. Color. Okay. Let's publish this and see how that works out for us. Okay, the gradients, it's not working. It's not working here because not every customization works. Some customizations are mainly for pro version. Okay, it's showing here. Let's see. Okay, publish. Let's publish it again. Okay, so you see, the whole thing has changed. Now, but if you look at this now, you see this is a complete hazard. You have a red background and the picture, your wordings are not clear. Then it makes it difficult for you to see what is here. So be careful with your customization and how you do it. Okay. Wow, this theme has this toggle, this button for night view and all that. Okay, so let's go back here and remove this. It's not necessary. We don't need it. Okay, let's check something else. Typography, yes. Now some themes will allow you change your body, your font family. Like if we change this now to Roboto, let's do 100. Text align center. Okay, let's just see how that works out for us. Not everything would allow you to make every change. So the rule of thumb is that everything has its own customization and what it wants you to do. So let's come back here. Categories. Maybe this has you can use different colors for different categories. Okay. We'll use this. Let's use green. Just different colors. As you can see, it keeps saying upgrade to pro, upgrade to pro. As if it wants to give me the money to go and upgrade to the pro. That one consign them. Okay, let's publish. Let's see. Okay, let's go back to home. Now you see the category name has changed in color. We have green for bolds, alpha, red, massage, black. So that's how it goes. This is just to make your site easier for users to see what they are doing. But I don't like this theme, so let's just change it and see something else. Yeah, install theme. Now you could do it from here, but I prefer to change my theme from themes. So if we change, okay, let's do Newsmatics. Okay, let's see how it works for us. Okay, this is fine. This is different. As you can see, it has a headline that is running through. So someone can, I believe with this you can change this green, you can change a couple of things here. Now, if you look at this home page, the home page for some of the things, you have its masonry form in the sense that you have one article, another one here, another one. So on a line you have about 3 or 4 articles, but on some things, yeah, it's just one article after the other. So it depends on what you want. Like if you look at my mother blog here, I always have the home page in masonry form because it makes it easier for people to see a lot of articles easily than having to scroll and scroll and scroll. Nobody likes scrolling through. Like I have 3 articles per line here. For some of them it's 4. For some themes it's 4. For some it's 3. Some even have, I've seen a theme that has up to 8, 9, 10. But they become very tiny pictures. You know. So it all depends on what you want. It depends on the nature of the blog. If your blog commands a lot of traffic, I'll prefer you use a masonry theme so that it makes it easier for people to see. Now, let's install some plugins. To install plugin is quite easy. All you just need to do is to go to your plugin menu here, add plugin, click on add plugin. Then, as a guide, you can Google basic plugins. Basic WordPress plugin every site needs. Now, I'm just going to show you a lot of plugins and a lot of stories. Okay, like this is saying wood fence security, Askimet. For me, I delete all my Askimet BS from my blogs, all A to Z. I delete it instantly, immediately after installation. Automatic backup, I use Updrafter. Updraft Plus. Let me explain what Updraft Plus does. It's a backup plugin for your site. You need to back up your plugin somewhere. You can back it up in your server, or you can back it up to an external server such as Gmail or any other stuff you're using. If you look at this now from my Updrafter stuff, backups, you see I have two backups. I have one for July 12th and June 12th. So I'm going to delete this June 12th because June has already passed. So if I want to restore my site, I could just go and restore this July 12th. I restore July 12th and my site is up and running. So with this, I can back up the site anytime. If I click on backup now, it will back up the whole site. I have an external, Rescan remote storage. I have a remote storage for my backups, which when you go through each plugin, it's going to show you how to add your remote backup or whatever. Like if you go to setting here, that's where you could add your Google Drive, FTP, mail, whatever you want to use, you add it up from here. And you can also have the option of deciding what to back up. If you want to back up plugin, theme, and your upload includes all your pictures and stuffs like that. But as a guide, as a rule of thumb, I will advise not to back up your themes and your plugins because they make your backup very heavy. And if you have to do anything with your backup, it becomes difficult for you to download and work with and all that. But that's basically for my mother site, which is a very heavy site. Like this site has over 150,000 published articles. Am I right? So, but for small sites, it may work fine. A site that has maybe 100, 200, 300 pages, it may work very fine for you. I don't know, but a few times I've had issues that I had to deal with my backup. It wasn't easy at all. Okay, 120,332 posts. So, backing up my plugins and all of this, because most of these posts have pictures attached to them. So that's why I'm only backing up. That's why I'm only backing up the posts and the pictures to make it easier for me. So let's look at a few plugins that I will recommend for a startup blog. Now, one is this Firebird. You can also search for the general themes, general plugins. When you can use Google. Google, in fact, right now as it stands, Google is one of the best friends now. Any of the search engines you use, they are your best friend because you will have to be searching and searching and searching till you run out of patience at times. But you have to be patient enough because you search and search, because the plugins you may install or the things you may install may not give you what you want. Then you have to make adjustments. So, keyword here is Google is your best friend right now, especially in this early stage as a blogger. So let's go back here. We'll look at a few plugins that I will recommend. One is Firebird, especially if you're dealing with a lot of pictures. Now, you may use a form plugin. There are so many form plugins, like the one we saw previously that said contact from 7. I think we saw that in one of our themes here. It's a plugin. You can use it. You can also Google 7. What you do is, whenever you want to do anything, you can start with Google and say, let's say 3 best form plugin for WordPress. Most times, even without putting WordPress, Google already knows you're searching for WordPress items, so it will just show you the one you need. Now it's showing us here what WordPress forms, gravity forms, formidable forms. You see a lot of them. You see a lot of websites telling you this and this and that and that and so many long stories. It is left for you to choose the one you want. But choosing the one you want involves a lot of work, because that means you have to install it first on your site, try to customize it, and see if it actually does what you want it to do. Then you also check your site traffic and if it's a heavy plugin or a light plugin. So first, I will also recommend Jetpack. That's one of the first plugins you should install on your site. I believe we have Jetpack here. Okay, it's already here and I've connected it. I believe we've connected. Yes, we've connected the Jetpack. We have Jetpack. Now, like Wordpress, I have Wordpress here. Wordpress is for if you're uploading podcasts, video, audio, whatever. Now, remember, like we said, you go to Google and you ask 3 best podcast stuff for plugins for WordPress. If we look at this now, if we go here, okay, no, there's no need. Let's go directly to a podcast. Oh, this network. Before my hand. Okay, this is a podcast. Now, okay, wow, sorry. Okay, this podcast is supposed to be a podcast, but my brain is touch. So I didn't create it as a podcast, but it ought to be a podcast. Now, if you look at this podcast, it has an audio podcast here. As a man, avoid stubborn women and feminists. It's a podcast. This is an audio. Now, this is here because of I have this seriously simple podcast. This is the plugin that makes it possible for me to add this here. Though you can also add an audio or video without using a podcast plugin. But the benefit of a podcast plugin is that you have a menu, you have a download menu, and you have 1 or 2 things that makes it easy for you. That's just it. It's very simple. So now Wordpress. What's my Wordpress? Wordpress is what enables you to, if you want to upload courses or lessons or any stuff, if you're doing teachings on your blog, or if you have to, anything that has to do with learning, you can use Wordpress. There are so many other plugins as well. In fact, on WordPress plugins, I believe there are over 50,000 plugins. Like this particular course now, how to use WordPress. Let's look at how Wordpress the outlook is, because every learning plugin has a different, say this has a different appearance. It shows you the weeks, all level, lessons, quiz, if there are quiz, 1 student, people that have taken this course. Now it shows you the course overview, which is this. Then it has curriculum, which shows you all of this. If you click on this, it shows you this. Then it talks about your instructor and stuff like that. You can start it now, and you also have the option of making the course free for everybody, or for someone to take the course, you have to be registered to the blog. Like for my own courses, you have to register on the blog to take the course. So this is what Wordpress does for you. I have a couple of courses here, and remember, from the website, from our menu here, you could add a different a different widget, different things to show here on this course menu. which can be different from what you have in your normal posts. Can be very different. So let's go back to plugins. Now we have post type switcher. It's not necessary for you now. You can add this post view counter because that enables you monitor your traffic to your site. Profile builder, this for user registration. So if you want people to start registering on your site, you could use any of the plugins. Then publish press capability. This enables you to have category of users and grant permission to them in different things. This works with this publish press permission. Now there's another crucial plugin you need to add to your site. Recapture. Capture plugin. You set for your capture plugin and you install it. Any of the captures, there are so many different captures. But I'm going to let's install this recapture. So we are going to set it up and see how it works. Add plugin. Now you may wonder, why is this one showing here? This one that is showing here is telling you that one of your plugins need to be updated. You will also find it here. But what if you have plugins and themes to be developed, to be updated? Let's assume you have 4 plugins and 3 themes to be updated. There are 7 things need to be updated. It will show you 7 here with this circle. With this arrowed circle to show you 7. Then maybe on your plugin it will show you the 4, and on your theme it will show you the 3. So we're going to search for that capture by best websoft. This enables you to install. Now, but before you install plugins, I need you to check something that is very important. It says compatible with your version of WordPress, because some plugins have not been updated. Remember, like we said, WordPress is built by another team of people who are updating WordPress core from time to time. I think it's about 6 months, or it's 3 months now. I can't really recall. But whenever WordPress updates its core, all the plugins and all the themes, whoever built them will have to go and update them to make them compatible with the latest WordPress. So if you scroll down, this says untested with your version of WordPress, last updated 1 year ago. So installing this on this site can break a lot of things, because remember, sometimes we have plugin conflicts. That is, one plugin is causing conflict in another plugin. They are not compatible, and that can really mess your site up at times. That's what gives you the real work. Remember, if you are working on a blog, then your greatest source of knowledge is the problems you will face as a blogger, because definitely you're going to face problems. IT is all about problem solving, problem solution, problem thinking, problem analysis. So you need to put on your thinking cap so you can solve the problems, because that's your learning platform. It has installed. Ideally, it's supposed to say activate here. I don't know what's wrong with this. Okay, maybe my network is slow. Okay, activate. Yes, activate. Now, if we activate this, we're going to set it up so you see how it works. Because this this capture is very good for your blog, in the sense that you could use it to prevent spam on your blog, so that you place it in your comment form. So if somebody wants to drop a comment, they will feel this. Otherwise, they can't drop a comment. Sorry, my network is a bit slow today. Now, we have installed it. Go to setting. Here we are in the setting. To set it up, you can see where the places you can place it: login form, registration form, reset password, protect password, post password form, comment form. So we'll add it in the comment form. Now, but this is a plugin that is dependent on Google. So for you to start using it, you need to have a site key and a secret key, which we're going to generate. Now, we're going to go to Google to get API keys. So we go to Google. This will open up your Google admin panel. So for you to do this, you have to make sure that you've already signed in to Google using your browser and any of your pages here. Once your Google is signed in, it's going to open this for you. Now this is a different dashboard. I believe you've never seen this before, but this is for developers or for people that are dealing with sites. So it's going to show you how many of this capture stuff that you have on your site. Like if we look at this here, okay, it says V2, V3 and so many of them. We don't want all that, so let's not look at that. So we'll create a new one. You click on this plus sign on your right hand side. It will open up the menu for you. Now let's go back here and copy the site address, because we will need this while opening. Copy. So we'll come here. It has opened. Register a new site. You can label it with anything. Let's say I'll label it with Crystal. Okay. Now there are two kinds to use. You can use the challenge one, I'm not a robot, or use invisible capture, or use a scoreboard, whichever. For V2, this is the one I normally use in all my sites. Then you add your domain name. You don't need to add the www or http and all that. You just need to add the site name, project name, and all that. So let's click on submit. So it has generated a site key and a secret key. So you copy this. You copy your site key, come back here, and you place it. Go back here, you copy your secret key, come back here, and you place it. Bam! Your capture plugin is up and running now. So if we go back to any of our pages, okay, let's click on run. It's in a comment form. All these other items are for premium users. If you start using premium now, you can add all of this: WooCommerce, login, and stuffs like that. Upgrade to Pro. That will give you access to all of this. Say if Google is blocked in your region. So let's look at run and see how to drop our comment. Now you see I'm not a robot has appeared here. This is so because you need to click on this if you want to drop a comment. I'm not a robot. Then you can drop comment and post. Like, let me just say I like this babe. You can click notify me or follow up comments and stuff like that if you want to, but that's not what we're looking at. So I'm going to close this window now because we're through with setting this up. Depends on where you want it. If it's a user registration site, then you should put it in your registration form. If you have a login form in the beginning and in the menu of your site, then you should have it in your login form. This prevents bots from coming to register on your site and logging into your site. But if you don't have login and registration here, then there's no need for all that. Now let's observe something. You see that I made a comment here. I like this babe, and it has just shown. Now this is a security risk for your site. You don't need this. So for you to stop this from showing, what you need to do is to come back to your menu and in your setting, go to setting, click on discussion. In discussion setting, now it says default post setting. Attempt to notify any blog linked to from the post. If you click on this, when someone links to a blog from your comment section, it will notify the blog. Allow link notification from other blogs, ping back and track back on new posts. Allow people to submit comments on new posts. If you don't want people to post on your comment, you can, people to comment on your post, you just uncheck this. But let's assume you've left it. Comment authors must fill out name and email. If you want that, you allow it. If you don't want it, if you want people to just comment without filling, it's your choice. Users must be registered and logged in to comment. You can click on that because that's what I use for my blog. Since it's a user registration blog, that means a lot of people are coming there. And it's a safe haven for hackers or people or spammers who want to post a lot of lousy comments. Like if you look at it, I have 999 comments. If you go through them, a lot of them is absolute BS. You see some comments, they have up to 10 links, 5 links, 2 links. People will just come and post a lot of stuff on your blog. Automatically close comments older than. I don't usually close my comments because on my own I allowed it thousands of days, so it goes over 10-15 years. Now show comment cookies, forget all those things, it's not necessary. Okay, the levels of comments, the way you want it. Break comment into pages of 50. You can set it to be last seen or first page. As if you set it to last page, it will be the last person who commented that will appear just below your post. But if you set it to the first page, it will be the first comment that will appear below your post. Comment to display at the top of each order, older or newer, however. Email me whenever anyone posts a comment. If you want to get emails, if someone posts a comment, fine, you do this. A comment is held for moderation. Anyone posts a note. Someone subscribes to my blog, whatever you want. Comments must be manually approved. Click on this. This prevents spamming on your blog. Comment authors must have previously approved comments. That's not necessary. So you can if you want to regulate spammers, you can say hold a comment in queue if it contains 2 or more links. Remember, the comment section is the heaven for spammers. They just come there, post a lot of comments about. In fact, there are bots. There are robots that go from site to site and just post random comments directing traffic to particular websites. So if you're experiencing any of that on your blog, you can just come and say maybe any comment that has more than 1 link, hold it for moderation. To hold it. Now after the settings, you can click on save. When you save this now, you find out, let's go back to run. Let me make another comment and see if it will appear here immediately. That may appear, okay. It may appear because I'm the user of this, I'm the only registered user here, and I'm the one that is supposed to comment. Let's see. This page is fine. Lovely. Wife material. Okay, so post comment. Let's see if that appeared. Okay, it appeared because I'm the only user and it's me that will approve, so it doesn't need me to manually approve because I'm the one that is posting it. But if other users come and post a comment here, it will need to be approved. So that's that for commenting. Now, is there any other setting? Let's check this general setting and see if there's any other thing you need. Okay, site icon. Your site icon is, if you look at my site now, my mother site, Beats Magazine. This Beats Magazine company logo. It appears here. That's what you have in the site icon, which you can add that through your customization. Now, WordPress address and site address. This is if you want to enter the same address here, unless you want your site home page to be different from your WordPress installation directory. The best advice I have for you now is just avoid this place. Don't touch anything here so you don't break your site. Now, if your site is user registration, if you allow people to register on your site, then you have to click on this. It says anyone can register. When you click on that, it has different roles. You can say subscriber, contributor, author. Let's run through the different categories of different levels of users. Because different levels have different permission level. Like core user role and hierarchy. Administrator level has full control over all site setting, plugin, theme, users, and content. Editor. The editor can manage, publish, delete all posts, pages, comments, but cannot change site setting or plugin. Though you could also enable your editor to change plugins or activate plugins and themes if you want to. Then you have author. This is level 2. He can write, edit, publish their own posts, upload media, but cannot touch the other users' content or site setting. So for this, if you allow people to register on the site, they should all become authors. If you want them to publish their own posts. But if you don't want them to publish their own posts, you can make them contributors. Can write and edit their own posts, but cannot publish posts or upload media file. Now, when contributor writes, it has to be approved by you before the post goes. So the person will write and publish it, but it won't go online until when you come to your dashboard. If you come to your dashboard, you're going to see, if you click on posts, you're going to see where it says post pending approval. Then you can approve them. Now we have post publish trash. That's the only two we have here. Now, but you're going to see it here, post pending approval. Then you click on it and open and see the post you want to approve and approve them. The ones you don't want, you don't approve them. You reject them. So remember, subscriber, contributor, author. Let's assume that you want people to be authors so that they can publish their own post. That's fine by you. Now, when you're through with this, you click on save. Now we have connectors. Connectors is what enables you to connect to social media sites like Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and stuffs like that. Now when you connect your site to any of this, any post you publish to your site would automatically, connectors. Sorry, that's from Jetpack. That's supposed to be from Jetpack. Connectors are okay if you want to activate Askimet, Anthropic, you install it, then Google Gemini, OpenAI. When you connect them, they will be part of your blog. So let's look at writing. Oh, my network is something else today. Forget about this, please. Forget about here. Don't do anything here so you don't mess your site up. MailChimp is something that you could use to send bulk mails to people that subscribe to your mail list. Reading. Now, this reading, if you look at let's look at, if you come to Bit Magazine now, and you come to the home page, you will find that it has all the recently published articles there. That is this. These are the articles published by different users. It has it there. Now, but let's go to one of my blogs and let me show you something. Oh, don't go there. Now you will see that my homepage for this other blog, this is my own personal private diary, is different from what I have here on Bit Magazine. We'll come back to that, but let's continue. Past here, when you read. Okay, now it says a static page and your last post. Your last post is something like this one I have here that shows all your last posts. Why is this not sure? Okay, yeah, it's opening. But if you don't want it to be your last post, if you want it to be a particular page, maybe a page that talks about the blog or the website, you can set it to be that particular page. So like here now, if you say a static page, is to say select home page, maybe about us. Your post page, leave it there, don't touch it. Now, blog pages to show at most, it depends on the blog. There was a time I was using 100, but I was putting so much load on my server, so I had to reduce it, because each time someone loads my home page, maybe to show them 100 on the archive, everywhere you go 100, and that was I think I was using 600 and something, which is not funny at all. So now if you look at this, my private diary, you see my home page. My home page is an about me, my about me page. I said page under construction by joint partnership between Julius Berger, Septraco, and NASA. Don't worry, very soon it will be done. Now, if you click on home, it still brings you back to this page. It brings you back to this same page. So you can see I don't have my posts shown here. Rather, I have my posts in recent posts. Then there's my categories and all that. So let's go back. That's what read means. You can use your last post or use a static page. Syndicate feed, show the most recent. You can do whatever number you want here. Except is, for each post in a feed, include except. The except is this: shop new blue strip, early clothing arrival. The except is this: refreshing your wardrobe is always exciting, especially when new collection introduces style that combine comfort, quality, and modern design. Blue, it keeps going. Now all this is set from here. Set it to except. Now in the customization, that's where you see how many words you can add to your except. If you want to use 100 words, it's 100. If you want to use 50, it's fine. Now this says search engine visibility. Discourage search engines from indexing your site. There was a time I had to discourage search engines from searching my site, indexing my site, because it was consuming so much of my system resources. So, but that may not be advisable for you now, because this is a new blog and you need the traffic. So search engines may help you, but if you're hosting on a server, if you're hosting with a web host that doesn't give you room for so much traffic, the best advice is not to use what's wrong with this thing? Good, don't give me a problem here. Okay, so we've done permalink before in one of our previous videos, where you have to set how your site and how your posts, the names of your posts will be. Plain posts, day and name. This will now add the site name plus the year, the month, the day, and all that. Month and date, you only have that numeric. Post name, I usually use post name for all my blogs. Then custom structure. If you have a custom structure here, you can add anything to the custom structure. Like you could put your years, month, day, hour, minute, second, post ID, category, and all that. So now the name alone can be as long as from Nigeria to California. That's your business. So set it to however you want it to look like. Now in the older times, when blogs were mainly used as blogs, that is when they were mainly logs, because the word blog came from web log, and a log book is a book that you normally enter entries as the day go by. So as at then, before it was even called blog, when it was still called weblog and stuff like that, a lot of people prefer to use month and date. But I rarely see websites that use such today. Though they are there are a couple of sites that do so, but I don't fancy it. Privacy for your website. The privacy is all about how the data. As a website owner, you may need to follow national or international privacy law. For example, you may need to create and display a privacy policy. If you already have a privacy policy, please select it below. If not, create one. Now on Bits Magazine, I have privacy, terms of publishing, and publishing policy, because a lot of people come here and publish what I don't want. So that keeps me up and running, in the sense that I have to make sure I come here and delete users who are posting BS. If a user comes here, because sometimes you have people posting adult content. That's why I have this notification here. Note to users: to prevent your account and all of its content from being deleted without prior notice to you, do not use this site for category. Do not use the site category. Instead, use tag. Do not post on gambling, escort services, betting, casino, guns, and ammunition. So once I see a user post content on all this area, I don't want a headache. I could just go your account, copy your name, and just go to my users, put your name there, and delete straight. You're not paying me it cost me a lot of money to host the site and keep it up and running. So if you're not paying me, I'm providing the service for you free. Why would you come and give me a problem? So you have the privacy and all that. So that's all for the settings. Now you have tools here. Or let's end this session for now so that I don't overload your brain with stuffs. So I believe by now you have an idea of what a plugin is and how to install your plugins and how to update your plugins. That's what we're going to do now. Normally, if your plugins need to be updated, once you see this update here, you scroll through your plugin page. It will show you the particular plugin to be updated. Now you click on update now. But I don't need this plugin. It came in with one of the previous themes I installed. So I'm going to delete all of this now because I don't need it. So they're gone. And that's that. Now later I'm still going to delete a lot of plugins that I don't need here. Like I don't need this Hello Dolly, Askimet, anti-spam protection, and all those BS. I don't need it. Loginizer, Login Pro, and stuff. I don't need all those things, so I'll just delete them. Now, another thing that you could do on your plugins is you can highlight this to highlight all your plugins. Then you can enable auto updates. This is very necessary for you to enable so that your plugins are automatically updated. Because if you don't do this, that means you have to manually update your plugins every time, and that may give you some form of stress or extra workload. So I believe with this now you understand what a theme is and how to customize your theme. Then you have an idea of what the plugin is. Most of these stuffs are practical, so you have to practicalize them for you to be able to know what it's all about. IT is practice oriented, so practice and practice and practice again, and you will get it right. I believe in you, and I want you to put in your best to be able to do the work ahead of you.